Welcome to the White Wall Sessions Radio. I'm your host, Dan Schaefer. On this week's episode, we feature JAS Quintet, Ryne Doughty, and Hard Travelin. If you'd like to know more about the artists on the show, visit thewhitewallsessions.com for features, links, and videos. JAS Quintet is a 5-piece original jazz band based in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. The combined talent of JAS Quintet is stunning, with Joel Shotwell on saxophone, Jim Spears on trumpet, Daniel Heyer on drums, Jeffrey Paul on keys, and Andrew Reinhardt on bass. The audience and crew were amazed. Ryne Doughty is an Americana singer-songwriter based out of Des Moines, Iowa. Ryne's smooth vocals, coupled with a comprehensive finger-picking style, make his music an enjoyable experience.
I learned Chinese mythology on the menu in front of me at the buffet on the east side of town. The white rice was steamy, the glaze on the green beans, the lonely man in the corner just looking around. Date night, I wonder what it's like after a big fight with the woman that I love. People in masses with all-day passes at the state fair on a sticky August Eve. The corn dogs and funnel cakes, yeah, the hog barns and the 4-H, yeah, the tank tops with the tattoo sleeves. Date night under the midway lights, with all the carnival sights and the woman that I love. Date night under the midway lights, with all the carnival sights and the woman that I love. Burgers and beer cans, yeah, gasoline in a bad plan, yeah, baked beans cooked over open flames, beef patties burnt black, yeah, eyebrows hope they grow back, yeah, of course for this fiasco I'm to blame. Date night by the firelight, under the stars bright with the woman that I love. Date night by the firelight, under the stars bright with the woman that I love. Thank you very much. All right. Date night. Cheers.
So you spent a couple years out in Colorado. Mm-hmm. Is that right? What area of Colorado were you in?
I lived in Boulder for 3 years.
Sure. Were you playing music at that time too?
Yeah. Yep. I was actually, I was playing music, and I recorded my first 2 albums out there.
Sure.
And I was also working at a window factory the
Oh,
whole time
really?
I was out there. So
Building windows?
I was on like the glass side of it, so the raw glass would come in. It was sketchy work, big raw sheets of glass.
I know. I'd be afraid of like turning around, like every comedic movie. Not
Right,
every comedic, but you just
Well, so
slide
in
it.
every movie, like,
yeah.
runs right through it.
Exactly. Were you one of those guys holding
Oh, yeah.
one? Oh, cool.
Yeah, and then flop it down.
Yeah.
So I was doing that, and my second album is actually called To the Factory. So I wrote that whole album while I was at work. And
Really?
Yeah.
So you said you recorded the albums out in Boulder. Was this something that you did yourself, or did you go to a studio?
Yeah, I met a guy when I first got to town. I met a guy who introduced me to a studio owner. His name is Morgan Harris, and the studio is called Moja Magic, and it was a great little studio and really comfy, and that's kind of where I cut my teeth recording, and it was fun. I got to record with some great people, and Boulder and Denver's best, and like Gregory Alan Isaacoff was on my first album, and
Wow.
so really.
So is those first albums? I guess I've been spending a lot of time of Under the Willow. Are those first albums kind of full band sound then too?
Yeah, the first one, it's full band. It's still really stripped down, like upright bass and some cello in there.
Sure.
But yeah, it's full band, but still really stripped down. The second album, To the Factories, it's pretty full band for sure. Yeah, upbeat and pretty eclectic.
Yeah.
Stylistically as well.
Well, I noticed that with Under the Willow, and you kind of mentioned it yourself too. It's got some somewhat dark undertones at times to it. Do your albums usually have a theme or something kind of working its way through the songs?
Yeah, not intentionally.
Really?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I never like sit down and say this one's going to be dark, or and I wasn't really in a dark place at all. It's just I just sometimes those dark and sad songs can make you smile. I was just kind of really into those really simple, I guess darker songs at that point.
So where was Under the Willow recorded at then?
Under the Willow Tree, I recorded in Iowa City at a place called Minstrel Studios with an engineer named John Speck. Alex Ramsey from the Minneapolis band The Pines, he produced that one.
Yeah.
Son of Bo Ramsey. So,
Oh,
yeah.
wow. I did not know that. We've been trying to work with the Pines to get them down here. Eventually, someday.
Yeah, we'll get them.
We'll get them.
I'll send them a text.
There you
Yeah,
go. Thank
for
you
sure.
for doing
Yeah.
that. Yeah. So, how did growing up in Iowa, in this Midwest region, really affect your songwriting? I mean, like you said, there's story songs. Are these personal stories that you're singing about? Are they friends, family?
Yeah, I mean, some of them are, I would say they're not like super literal, but, I pull from personal experiences and people I know and, situations I grew up around. And yeah, I grew up in an area at Southeast Iowa that's just rich with great music, like Greg Brown and Bo Ramsey and Dave Zolo and all these people that created the Iowa sound. And so that's kind of what I grew up on. And I just think it's, it's awesome stuff. So that's what I modeled my own songwriting after, I guess.
Well, it definitely shines through. And you kind of mentioned you're on a 5-day jaunt right now, and this is kind of your last stop before you head home.
Yeah.
What do you like about being on the road, and how often do you play shows?
Well, I'm playing all the time. I don't go out for long runs too often yet, anyways. No, I like being on the road and seeing different people in towns and meeting different people and playing different venues. But I definitely, I love getting back home to my wife and daughter. And
Absolutely.
so yeah, but no, it's always great. I love going out. But that's what's great about Des Moines too, is it's so centrally located and situated on 2 major interstates, so you can go out and back or for little 2 or 3 day runs all the time. So.
Yeah, kind of like Sioux Falls right here.
Right, exactly.
It's really not that far away from Des Moines either.
Quick 4
And
hours.
there's quite a few artists that we've had. Chad Elliott, for example. I don't know if you know him.
Yeah, actually, I'm on the same roster as Chad.
Are you? Okay.
Chad's wife does some booking for me. So.
Oh, that's Oh, that's right. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
checking you out on Facebook today, and
Yeah.
absolutely.
So yep, I know
Absolutely.
Chad, great songwriter. He's definitely carrying on the Iowa sound and the Iowa tradition really well. He's doing great.
Yeah, it's a great music area that kind of cultivated. You even mentioned here is Sioux Falls is much like Des Moines, where things are kind of picking up for music and arts in general. Des Moines may be a little bit bigger, but we like Sioux Falls.
Right, yeah,
I'll
no,
just say
Sioux
that.
Falls seems great. I had some time to hang out today, even though it was downpouring.
Yeah, it really was.
I couldn't tell if it was the super dark clouds or the eclipse. But
Yeah,
it was
for all of our listeners, this happened on, what is today's date, Chad? August 19th?
21st.
21st, wow.
Yeah.
21st, eclipse day.
Yeah.
So
So no, it was
magical
great
things
though.
happening.
The downtown area was super neat, and even though it was pouring, it was really vibrant and a lot of
It
people
is.
out. So
Did you go anywhere? Did you get some good food anywhere?
I just stopped into a place called JJ's or something. JJ's Beers. Or
Oh, JL
Burgers.
Beers. JL Beers.
JL's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
So I
good
just
spot.
ducked in there to get out of the rain and had a red beer.
There you
So,
go. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're from Iowa.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, new album coming out in a couple days.
Yep.
What's it called?
The title is Date Night, which I have a song called Date Night.
You played for us tonight.
Which I played tonight. This album's definitely, it's bigger sounding. It's all pretty much full band and, heavier drums and just, every album's kind of a reaction off of the last album that you did. And the last one was super quiet and subtle. And it's like, man, I kind of just want to have some fun with this and really explore and make these songs come to life. So
do you have like a roster of musicians that you just call upon at the studio, or people that come and play drums? And
so
stand
in
up?
Des Moines, I've gotten to know a lot of musicians, so it was pretty easy to get them in. And in Des Moines, I every once in a while throw together a little band. And
Oh, sure.
So
we'd love to see that someday too.
Yeah.
Bring that up here.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Yeah, I think it
love
would
to.
be. I
Yeah.
think it would-
So it was pretty easy to get the musicians to come in and play. So
That's awesome. It's good to have friends like that. We have a couple friends like that as well hanging out here,
yeah,
as you can probably imagine.
right.
So after this album comes out, do you have plans to tour the U.S.? Do you have plans to go on a little
Yeah,
anything like that?
I think that's always the goal.
Sure.
But I'm still a pretty committed family guy too.
Yeah.
So no, that's definitely always the goal, as long as it works out with the family and just, I'd always stretching out and pushing further out with the tours and stuff. So
Absolutely.
yeah, it's definitely the plan to do that, but
Awesome.
at what rate it happens, we'll see.
It's another whole story.
Yeah,
That's right.
I feel blessed and content to do what I've been doing. I'm a full-time musician, and I just, I stay pretty regional, and obviously I'd be great to get out and tour for
Sure.
months at a time, but I think I'd be missing out on a lot of other stuff too.
We'd love to have you back in Sioux Falls, I'll tell you that.
No,
Some
I'd
doors
love
open
to.
with that.
All right. The song here is called If I Had To. Just wrote it if I had to choose some things. If I had to lean one way, I'd probably lean left. 'Cause the social injustice don't get my respect now. Some say my heart is bleeding out of my chest. If I had to lean one way, I'd probably lean left. If I had to be a color, I'd probably be green. 'Cause the red and blue mixed up, I make the worst bruise I've seen. It's the color of the trees and they give us air to breathe. If I had to be a color, I'd probably be green. If I had to, if I really had to, boys, I tell you, this is what I'd do. If I had to be a bird, I'd probably be a dove. Sure, hawks fly high and fast, but the form of flies to love. Once I had the courage, it fit just like a glove. If I had to be a bird, I'd probably be a dove. If I had to, if I really had to, boys, I tell you, this is what I'd do. If I had to be a flower, I'd probably be a rose. For the finger finds a fault from the greed of the nose. Beautiful but dangerous to protect me from my foes. If I had to be a flower, I'd probably be a rose. If I had to, if I really had to, boys, I tell you, this is what I'd do. If I had to, really, really had to, boys, I tell you, this is what I'd do. All right, well, thank you very much.
Hard Travelin, a 5-piece string band from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, returned to the White Wall Sessions for Season 5. Drawing from the roots of bluegrass and old-time country, Hard Travelin puts a contemporary spin on those styles to create a unique sound of their own. Hard Travelin is Jack Rollins, guitar and vocals, Travis Jameson, bass and vocals, Andy Shaw, lap steel, Connor Peterson, mandolin and vocals, and Morgan Carnes, banjo and vocals.
They picked off all the neon lights, locked up all the doors. All the stools are empty and all the tabs are closed. Waitress on the push broom, I'll keep on the mop. Both their eyes upon me as I stumble out the bar. I keep wailing, who's gonna love me? I keep moaning down, how that she's gone. I wonder what did I do to deserve such scorn? How can can I get you back home? I wander through the city nights, drunken and alone. All streets are empty and all the shops closed. A random passing stranger hops up across the block, holding certain contact with a certain broken heart. I keep wailing, who's gonna love me? I keep moaning now, how that you're gone. I wonder what did I do to deserve such scorn? How can I get you back home? Well, I feel your arms around me in the dark again, and I sense your lips start parting as I'm leaning in. Then I jump away and I start to shake, and it's never quite enough to keep you away. I keep wailing, who's gonna love me? I keep moaning down, how that she gone. I wonder what did I do to deserve such scorn? How can I get you back home? What did I do to deserve such scorn? How can I get you back home?
I know Travis Jameson has written a lot of songs, but in this band, there's more than one songwriter. Is that right? How does that?
Anyone that writes a song brings it to the band, and if it sounds good, we play it. And I mean, it's nice. When we first started, I would say I was singing most of the songs, and I'm fine with letting some other people sing some tunes, and they're writing great tunes, and it's just nice to have that many people that are writing songs, and Andy just keeps all his good stuff to himself. So
Well, for Condor, he's ready for Condor's next album, evidently.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just agree. Yep.
that is an interesting
said it.
question, though, because you are in different projects. And Travis, you kind of mentioned on it. I mean, it's sort of a song just becomes what it is because of who you are, not because what you necessarily want it to be. But when you're writing a song and you're in a different project, do you think, ooh, this is a Hard Travelin song, or this is a Condor song, or this is something else?
I got to say, occasionally, like it'll be like I'll specifically hear, assuming this was addressed to me, but I'll hear like Andy's playing slide on something, or something that Union Grove doesn't have, banjo that Union Grove doesn't have, like, so it's, if I hear a part that's like I think really this is going to make the tune, then that band gets decided, like if I want in Union Grove, if I write something in my mind, it has Megan Aaron behind it. There's no way, as great as singers as these two are, they're not going to duplicate what's in my mind that Megan Aaron would come up with, you know what I mean? And vice versa, they wouldn't come up with what these guys come up with.
Right.
So it's really, for me, it's when I write something, it's who does it feel right for, and what do I hear in the background? There's no real, like, this is hard and fast to this band song. This is hard and fast, it's never like that for me. It's a little bit of just,
the song kind of makes the decision rather than you.
Yeah. Yep. And the excitement of the song when I sit down and play it for whoever first, and they're like, oh yeah, and they're excited about it, versus play a song and everyone's like, gone. See if the other band likes it, and if they don't, gone. It'll just sit in my bank. It's just another song I've written.
You write such good songs. I don't know if we've ever went
I think you've done
we'll take them all. But yeah, luckily you write enough songs to where
I do.
We
I
don't
write
have to
a lot
worry
of
about
songs.
Union Grove getting songs that we're not getting. I mean,
I don't write 2 a year.
he pulls out books and books of great songs that we could.
I consciously wrote a song for this band just recently.
Because we were given a bunch of grief about not having.
So you were
songs.
thinking this. Band.
Yeah, and if you go back to how Condor sounds, like it's a way different sound, obviously, than this band. And so there's different styles that I can cater to or write to. And so depending on how the song comes out, I'll be like, yep, that's a Condor song, or that's a Hard Travelin song. And that can be done afterwards, where I'm doing like kind of organizing the song or arranging it in some form. But more recently, like I said, there's been a song that I wrote, like, I want to write a Hard Travelin song. And so I did that. And so...
And I got to ask Travis and all of you. So when you're writing songs, most people write it on a guitar, but does Travis ever come in and say, as a bass player, a great bass player, by the way, come and say, I got this great song. It goes like this. Dun, 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 dun.
Travis is an excellent guitar player.
Yeah,
too,
he's
so.
actually a much better guitar player than me. So he'll show up a little bit early to practice and show it to me on guitar so I can stumble my way through it as we practice it. But yeah, I mean, he normally shows it to me on guitar, I would say.
And it's rare that I ever write anything on bass directly. It's usually me sitting on my couch at home on my guitar.
On your guitar?
On my acoustic,
How about you, Connor? You write on the Mando or you write on the cello?
It's a mixture between Mando and guitar. I probably I rarely would write something on cello. Sometimes it happens, but I guess most of the time it's on Mando or guitar, just because they're rhythm instruments, and so that's easiest to write on.
And Andy Shaw here, I've heard a lot of great songs out of you. Great guitar player. When you write a song, do you write for, or have we ever done a song in this band that you wrote for, that you played on the lap steel? That took about 1,000 words to get out, but.
What was the question again?
He's going to respond with a single word answer.
No.
So when you play the lap steel, is it always accompanying someone else's song?
Yeah, I found that it's very hard to play the lap steel on your own, just because half of what you're doing is matching notes, and if
melodic.
And you're concentrating on that more than I'm gonna write a song on this, So it's just, I don't know. It's very hard to play, even if you're listening to something else, like I'm playing along with it. It's hard that way, but it's even harder to just sit down and be like, okay, I'm gonna practice this song without the band, because I'm trying to match tones most of the time.
It's like just practicing the bass part to a symphony by yourself. It's not gonna work out.
Right.
I've done it. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. If I were to ever write a song for this band, it would be on guitar, for sure.
And the style of this band, the feel of this band, like we talked about earlier, is going to be the same. If you play covers, it's not like someone walks in and says, "Hey, let's try this Van Halen song," right? I mean, what do you do for?
I would say, hell yeah, we're going to play.
Well, there's a bunch of them that
we would grass it up a bit. I mean, we definitely make covers our own.
Dude, I got a Cars song I want these guys to play so bad.
Awesome.
So bad.
And it sounds nothing like the Cars, but yeah.
but it sort of will. It'll be great.
You'll know the lyrics.
I think of it as kind of like if we were to take a cover song such as like a rock tune or whatever, we would put it like a bluegrass country spin on it, and I think of the band as like a bluegrass country band, like a weird melding of the two.
Is that the beauty of this band, I think, and people of our like mind, is that we'd never say that beforehand,
right.
I want to make this sound country, it would just be us playing it, and it would kind of naturally form its own thing. And even when I started in the band, it was like that. And I would sit down at practice and learning this semi-new instrument to me, and I would mess up all the time, and there was never anything like that. It was always, no one even looked at me
or we'd yell, play it lonesome.
Yeah, no, there's none of that. And so I think it's the same sense in if you were to pick a cover song or something. We're not, or even our genre, or it's like we're not writing country songs, kind of like we touched on earlier.
You're just making music.
We just playing what we play, and sometimes it sounds like this, and sometimes it sounds like that. So,
and like we said, the song decides how you all play.
Exactly.
Yeah,
definitely.
So let's talk about your albums. Or album. You're working on one, and you've got sort of some demos hidden places, but you wouldn't claim them, or is this your one album you're working on?
Well, the album itself is done, and we recorded at Pony Creek Studios, and engineered by Chad Conrad. So if you guys are ever in the market for recording anything, make sure you look at Pony Creek Studios.
I heard that.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
The album is done. It's been mastered, and it's going to be released in October. 14 tracks, and it's to be titled also. But yeah, it's completely done though.
Great.
So how did that process go? Did that take a long time or a short time?
It actually took a real long time. We started in January, and it's now going to be September. So.
And what made that? I know Chad works pretty well, but
it was not Chad that held us up by any means. We're musicians. I mean, we like to get together.
Well, I'm gonna give Chad a little bit of it because he would just be booked up. It's not his fault, but he's booked. So we get 2 days this week, and next time I got to open is 3 weeks from now. And we just had to take those 3 weeks.
I have no part of that.
He knows,
but when Chad works,
he knows. Chad, he knows.
When he works, he has a direction. He has a thing that he wants because
he's amazing.
He's a musician, obviously, but when he's engineering and producing, he's a musician too. So Did he push and prod you guys at all, or how
It was more like, here's a suggestion, take it or leave it. Like, he was never like, okay, this sounds bad and I want you to do it this way. I mean, he kind of let it grow. Like, I feel you could do a slightly better take on that one. You know, I'm not saying you need to do it or not do it.
I'm headed out to Chickasaw Island, packing up, we're gonna leave today. Spend my summer in the crystal blue water, washing all my sins and cares away. And it's more than just some place to play. The faithful flock down and they sing their praise for absolution lie on the high tide of Chickasaw Bay. Sometimes they're out there in the pre-dawn fog now, sometimes they're out there in the pouring rain. Either way they go seeking redemption, be it through pleasure or be it through pain. And it's more than just some place to play. The faithful flock down and they sing their praise for absolution lie on the high tide of Chickasaw Bay. Giving you believing something more. You can check your tenants at the door, as you're welcome either way. Dig your toes into the sand, watch the waves crash to the land, catch some religion or a tan. Down at Chickasaw Bay. Meet me down at Chickasaw Island. We can have a drink or have a pray. Either way, we'll be out basking in the sunlight, make it worth it each and every day. And it's more than just some place to play. And it's more than just some place to pray. But the faithful flock down and they sing their praise for absolution lie on the high tide of Chickasaw Bay. Yo, for absolution lie on the high tide of Chickasaw Bay. And everyone you find will have a fine time at Chickasaw Bay.
Travis Jameson, everybody, on the bass.
If you'd like to know more about the artists we feature, visit thewhitewallsessions.com. The White Wall Sessions Radio is recorded and produced at Last Stop Studios in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Last Stop Studios is located in the lower level of the Last Stop CD shop at 2121 East 10th Street in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Executive producers are Jeff Zuger and Doug Taylor. Head of broadcast engineering is Dave Palmer. Audio technicians are Chad Conrad, Carl Koiser, and Dave Palmer. Audio mixing is Chad Conrad. Associate producer is Michael Yeager. Scheduling and sales is Tom Eisner. I'm your host, Dan Schaefer. Join us again next week for another edition of the White Wall Sessions Radio.